Welcome to Riverbend Talon on WBGZ. Brought to you by the Halpin Music Company.
It's time once again, Pigpen, for another show.
It is. It seems very bright in here.
Yeah, well, we kicked on another light because we got some cameras running.
Oh, is that, I thought, wow, my vision's gotten better since the last week.
Right.
Everything seems really bright.
Normally keep it nice and low and sexy in here, but
yeah, well, usually we set the mood. We dim the lights, we light some candles,
Right. And so we thought, hey, let's try the YouTube thing with this, and so we'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
We don't know. We practiced last week though, so.
Yeah. It was a little weird having cameras in here last week, and I guess you get used to it because I'm not even quite noticing Alex as much this week running around behind
Alex
me.
Honky in here helping us out, so everybody knows.
Yeah, there you go.
We're not doing this by ourselves.
No, Mr. A. Honky is running around and got video cameras looking at us. I'm freaked out a little bit when I look at him.
I'm freaked. I'm freaked out myself. It's like anytime we have our guests that we have tonight in the studio, I get a little edgy.
Well, that's because these guys, they don't get out of control in a way that's like, uh-oh, FCC, watch out. It's just you never know where the conversation's gonna go because we got Scott and Dave from Fragile Porcelain Mice sitting in with us tonight.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Hey, what's going on?
And Scott and Dave and they you can say hi to these guys and 20 minutes later they stop talking.
That's pretty, yeah.
This conversation will vary from turkeys falling from the ceiling to school teaching. So
we're just working on a future talk show.
Right. Sure. And Vegas Act, probably.
Talk show and Vegas Act.
That's right, we're trying to get
a mix between Donnie Hugh and Sally Jesse Raphael.
Not unlike that.
Yeah.
Donatello and Raphael? What?
Yes.
Who was it you just said?
I'll wear the red glasses like Sally Jesse does.
You really do. But I also think we do resemble Donatello a little bit. And,
the Ninja Turtle or the Renaissance artist?
Both.
I'm going with the Ninja Turtle on my end.
Sure.
A little bit.
Right. Exactly. I don't know, A-Town. We put it to you. High performance art, or a classic, or just basically great '80s cartoon. I don't know which.
There you go.
A-Town, you decide.
Yep.
I'm glad to hear you're going to end up in Vegas because all the greats end up in Vegas.
Oh, thanks, man.
Right.
You
guys deserve it.
Sometimes the greats don't end up in Vegas. And
we may end up in Branson.
We're more Branson. We're Branson material.
Speed.
Yeah, we're definitely Branson. Soji Tabuchi.
Soji Tabuchi. And what's Yakov Smirnoff?
Oh, Yakov Smirnoff. Yeah, basically, right. I would agree. Yeah, right. So it's a lot of times you would think of Fragile Porcelain Mice much like a guest star on Night Court.
Yeah. A little bit like that.
Right.
I was thinking more Barney Miller, where it's like you make multiple appearances. Like, wasn't that guy like another character? Because they seem to always have like an ensemble of Barney Miller. Like
last week he was the guy breaking into the jewelry store,
exactly.
And this week he's the banker.
He's the lawyer that came in to spring the one guy. And
Fragile Porcelain Mice character actor.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. In the modern day of like Netflix and YouTube, you notice that a lot. A lot
absolutely.
Easier because you watch the series and you're like, well, those people just keep rotating characters.
And I didn't care with Barney Miller just because the theme song was just so good.
It was pretty
at the
good.
beginning. I mean, it's a real good. That's a great bass line.
It's right up there with like Sanford and Son.
Yeah, Sanford and Son's amazing.
Yeah.
You see, most people,
work, actually.
like on the last show, they did a movie review of like the latest movie. We just review like really old television shows.
Sure.
That everyone's seen like 100 times.
Right. Like whatever Channel 11 had on at 3 o'clock on Saturdays, pretty much.
Yeah. We can dissect the season 2 of Three's Company if you want.
Yeah.
Probably could.
I mean, after seeing
thinking
something.
what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
BJ and the Bear should get back together.
Oh, BJ, this is my best friend, Bear. That's another good theme song.
That's a solid one.
Another good theme song.
Someone's going to put together a band just to do the old theme tune.
The good ones, though.
Yeah,
right,
There should be a
exactly.
band that does just strictly
Now-
like 70s sitcoms and TV shows. Like,
You're friends with Graham Pagano.
I am, yeah.
So me and him were in a band years ago, and we did the Jeffersons theme song.
Oh, nice.
that's a good one too.
That is really good. Right.
We
right.
bust that one
That's
out every now
iconic,
and again.
really.
Sure, right. So, did you sing that?
Yeah.
Outstanding. Outstanding. I bet it sounded just like the
I
television
bet it did
rendition.
not. Like Tom Waits trying to do it. maybe.
right. It's like the Jeffersons theme, but just wrapped in just a dark shroud of sorrow.
Because that is a pretty positive.
It's pretty positive till Tom Waits sings it.
It's not like Good Times, which is ironic because Good Times, the lyrics of Good Times are pretty heavy.
Oh, yeah, it's
Good
deep-
times
it's
is
dark.
anything but good
Yeah,
times. So
yeah.
see, it is ironic.
It
was ironic before ironic was cool.
It was like it's like a Fly in Your Chardonnay kind of like 70s sitcom
It's
theme
really
song.
it is
Just
not
not
unlike
that ironic, really.
Rain on your
Oh, it's
wedding day.
great.
Oh, goodness.
Meeting the man of your dreams and meeting his beautiful wife.
Isn't it ironic? No, it's actually not. I don't think you know what that word means.
Right.
No, it's
she
not
should have
ironic.
looked that word up before she wrote the song. I
It's,
don't know.
It's weird because, as far as I know, most of the folks in Canada speak English, so it's like you'd think she'd know what the
Brian
word means,
Adams
but
would not get that confused.
That is
Look,
correct.
the Canadian government has apologized for Brian Adams again and again.
Yeah.
We've got to let it go.
He wouldn't get that. He wouldn't get the ironic
No,
thing
he'd
mixed
get
up, though.
that.
No, I think he would get that. And Triumph would get it as well.
Triumph with
Oh yeah, Triumph. Who could forget them?
Yep.
Sure, right.
That's
What
a
would-
trio too.
Would,
right?
would,
Canadian power trios.
Yeah.
would Rick
Rush?
Derringer get it?
Yes.
Okay.
Is Rick Derringer Canadian?
I don't know. I
was
may
gonna
have
say,
I may have just made that
I
up.
mean, you blew my mind.
No, I
Rick
don't
gotta
actually
be.
know.
He's
I
gotta
don't.
be.
I think he might be, but like I said,
Edgar
I'm not
Winter looks Canadian, but they're
I think-
really
well,
tight.
Well, Edgar Winter just looks like he's devoid of sun.
Yeah,
so
that's- I mean-
so I guess that could be Canadian.
Probably
Yeah.
Inner Earth.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Hey,
right.
what do you laugh? Now, hey, wait a minute. Now I got to admit, last time you guys were on, it's been just over a year now.
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
November.
I went home,
Yes.
right,
And
and I
cried.
wept.
You wept.
Yeah,
knew you
because I
wept.
realized the great conspiracy.
Go ahead.
What, you guys are looking at me like you don't know.
What?
I mean, think about what we were talking about
What did
last
we
time.
do?
What were
Do
we
you
talking
remember?
about last time?
Oh,
You remember what we
man.
were talking about last time?
I'm telling you right now, seriously. Ask me what I was talking about
Well,
yesterday.
ties to the mob,
to the mob.
off-track betting,
Off-track betting. Yeah, because we were playing at Pops.
Club 313. You know,
Yeah.
there's some numbers
Yeah.
you were bringing up.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So I started putting it all
Your
together.
notes are
Well,
outstanding.
you know, I'm like, wait a minute. Hidden in plain sight. Right in your logo,
Go ahead.
right? So you got FPM, right?
Yes, right.
Fragile porcelain mice.
So far, I'm
The
following
F
you.
surrounds the P, right? So you got Freemasons surrounding people.
Okay.
You guys are directly tied.
Hey, we got
Hold on. We're gonna have to.
Wait.
We're gonna have to go to break.
Yeah,
and,
we're,
and you're probably gonna never hear from Dennis again. Yeah. So
Hey, I know all about this rock and roll Illuminati thing. I'm
yeah.
thinking, how do these guys like
me
stick
tell you
around
something.
all these years and not even play shows?
Rock Illuminati is not just reserved for Jay-Z and Beyonce. Okay, let's just be clear.
Well, you know,
Hold on, let's get to the mice part.
Well, yeah, that's where it gets really weird. That's where it gets really weird.
All right.
I'm fascinated.
Well, let's start
by
off.
this.
We
I'm
get-
fascinated, but also thinking that we may have to dispatch someone to your home.
Okay, well, check this
They
out.
already know. They're on their way.
They already know.
They'll be waiting
Sorry.
for you.
Right.
That
right.
that was Dave Winkler, right? Dave
Yeah.
Wink,
Yes.
right?
No.
All-seeing eye, wink,
Oh.
blur, right? Hey, Winkler, Winkler, lure, lure the children.
Should we lure the
Whoa!
That just got dark, right? Should we
Then it was like that pizza parlor in D.C. You know?
should we be wearing foil hats right now?
I think so. I am. What do you? I've got the inside of my hat lined
Right?
up foil always.
And then there's Goliath tied to David,
Yes,
right?
true.
Oh.
True.
So the
giant.
weak overcome, or the few overcome the many
Yes.
and control them.
I'm gonna thank my mom
Right.
for this.
Oh, Scott's not off the hook.
Oh, he's not. Go ahead.
No, I mean,
Continue.
look at this.
Continue.
Scott,
Yes.
Scotland.
Yep, that's
Scott
where
Randle,
Interesting.
the Templars went to Scotland.
Scottish free right, right?
Yep.
You're just helping.
Two
him now.
first names.
Well, he
Go ahead.
figured it out.
Right?
I might as well help
Yeah,
them
may as
out.
well
a
just
I'm just
little
glad
bit.
it's not three
Yeah.
first names.
We got like Scott and Randall. That represents
Yeah,
two
two
possible
first-
first
Yep.
names. Duality, right?
Yep.
Good
You
Lord.
guys are all
This is
into that
amazing.
duality thing.
You still haven't got to the mice yet.
You're into you guys are clearly into the duality. Well, that's true. Let's expand on that, shall we?
Yeah.
So yeah,
This is outstanding.
and then tied directly to the education system.
well, or,
Are you still?
I don't know. I wouldn't call it education.
Well,
I don't know how much education's going on.
Yeah. Well, in programming.
In
perhaps.
programming, right?
Programming.
so are you still teaching, Scott?
I'm still programming children, yes.
Yeah. Social
I
engineering.
just merely lure them, apparently.
Social engineering. Lure.
It took a dark turn
That took a
there.
little like Comet Pizza Parlor place.
It really did.
Little lures
Right.
there.
Sure. Exactly. Oh my gosh. I know I'm gonna get hate mail.
Like
after
anybody
this.
like tunes into the middle that's actually like a Freemason, just like, oh, they're gonna get down here, like trying to like grab us, like, trying to get us out of here.
Well, there's a few people standing outside the window already.
Sure,
looking
right,
in.
with
I don't know.
torches and pitchchforks, probably, just like
Showed
going,
up in
oh.
little cars
Yeah,
with
right.
Fez hats.
Like right now, they're sitting there just going, let's show you what A-Town does to child lures. Good Lord.
I think those are at Bass Pro Shop, aren't
So,
I think so.
so let's see. You're playing at Pops on what day? No.
Good Lord. What? Wow. So anyway, February 2nd.
we got a show. Woo! Got a show February 2nd.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Saturday.
Yeah.
So we covered.
Saturn.
Was that the 20 minutes you were requesting?
No, we were done 5 minutes ago. Before we said the Pops thing, we were done.
Oh, okay. Exactly. Thank you and good night. A-Town, you've treated us like one of your own.
Wow. He picked both your names apart and the band name.
Figured it out.
So,
it's
Dennis, really,
it's
as
the-
always, once again, I really appreciate the homework that you do.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's research.
The people of A-Town don't even realize that this has by far been the strangest interview I've done. And we'll just leave it at that. Yeah.
Mr. Winkler. Lure.
Hey, you know, the best part was really the accusatory look I got that the folks on the radio couldn't see.
They'll see it on YouTube.
We gotta
but
film
they'll
you.
see it.
But watch the video. Watch this video because
Watch the video.
because I'm going to tell you, you're gonna see this look where I'm like going, where's this going? Oh, he's got a place this is
I was
going.
convinced. I was like, oh man, I didn't know. I was in a band with this guy for a while.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's
I
like
had no idea.
Exactly. He, man,
Oh my gosh.
did it well, I guess.
Well, there's still the mouse thing. I didn't finish that part.
Well, you know, there's always next year. We'll probably play again because again, when it really does come to Illuminati, we don't give that up easily. So
Right.
No,
we'll
you
be
can't.
here. We'll be here.
Well, I got to
Hidden in
thinking
plain
about
sight.
Yeah.
Grandpa Mick. L. Ron Hubbard,
Oh,
Crowley,
right, yeah.
Tied right to the mouse.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, the mouse.
Yeah.
The mouse is what it's all about.
It's really, that's what I'm saying. Honestly, Dennis, I mean, you're so close.
And there's you
but
mentioned
you really didn't get to the
You
cornerstone,
mentioned
which
nothing
is the
about
mouse.
in Scientology. You mentioned nothing about our connection to the Sea Org.
Right.
So
I thought,
So we've got to dig a little
Club
deeper. He's got to
33,
dig a
that's
little
enough.
you gotta dig it.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
He'll
If you would have gotten to the volcano and the nuclear weapons, then I would have just said, well,
We got to cut this interview short.
Dead to rights. There's an alien involved, correct? And there's nuclear weapons and a volcano, and we'd have just been like, we're terminating this right now.
Right. Now this time you're
Tom
bringing
Cruise
up
will be contacting
inner
you.
Earth and stuff. And I'm like, what's a mouse do? A mouse hangs out in the dark and waits till
We're not done
everyone
with this line
goes
of
away.
questioning, are we? No,
It gets
all right.
real quiet in the house, and then the mouse comes out and does what it does in the night,
Jeez.
right?
Right.
And you don't know what it does.
Gonna plead the fifth because I can't plead the first.
Oh, man.
You see how people react to mice?
Yeah,
I mean,
don't care for
they
them.
jump up on chairs and
I don't care
spiders.
for this band.
That's
Actually,
how
I mean,
people
Once
react to
again,
this
the
band.
weak controlling the masses.
Exactly.
The few.
There's
The proud.
You figured it out.
Man.
So explain to me, Of Mice and
I'm
Men.
exhausted.
What's that all about? Of Mice and Men, Scott.
I don't know what's
Steinbeck's
going
a
on
nice
anymore.
No, you know what's great? You know what's great, Pigpen? You've actually lost control of your own show.
Usually I'm never in control. I'm
I
the
see.
one that spins out of control.
Right.
I'm the one that he's trying to lure in usually.
Right.
Lure.
No, we know what you lure. Well, I mean, what I lure.
Oh man.
So what does that statement mean?
What's
Of
that?
Mice and Men.
What was it from the book?
Oh, don't go with the standard book answer.
No.
Listen, that's what we want you
The
to
mice
get is-
control men, right?
Right.
All right.
And then apparently we're supposed to kill rabbits.
Tell me
No?
about the bunnies, George.
This is incredibly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, more so than normally coming to this. I mean,
It's very like I didn't know I was going to court.
No.
You know? It's like I had no idea I was going to court
hold
today.
on, I have depositions prepared.
I brought none
Yeah.
of my paperwork or
Yeah,
my
right.
briefcase or anything.
I didn't even bring up the moon.
Oh my god.
And the landing.
It is made of
and
cheese,
by the way,
isn't it?
I'm doing landing in air quotes right now.
It's made of cheese, ain't it?
The moon is made of cheese. It is made of cheese.
I've always assumed that.
I mean, I'm not a scientist, but yes, I believe.
I'm not a scientist.
I'm just a Scientologist, apparently, and a Mason.
And amazing.
Whatever other secret society I'm a part of.
A 12th degree or something, apparently.
I'm not quite sure what other secret society I'm a part of.
I think Dennis knows a few more.
Yeah,
And now the KKK. No.
Yeah, no, I don't want to be. No.
It got real. It got
You
real
got
dark.
real.
It
Yeah,
got real
went
dark.
there. Yeah, all right.
You want me to get serious?
And I don't know. I'm not totally.
We have no idea.
I'm not sure if
How about a real question that's actually addressed to you, Scott,
Okay, sure.
and not
Okay.
your ties to secret
Okay.
societies.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Have you done anything lately to contribute to the band?
By the band, you mean the rock band? Or
No,
you mean,
your band, Fragile Porcelain. The last time you were here, you're like, sometimes I write lyrics because I feel like I have
I
to
done
do
anything
something.
since then? Have I contributed since
Wait,
then?
hold on a
Have
second.
you been contributing?
As your attorney, I would.
Like contributing is like that.
I'd like to
hold up.
advise that hold on a
have to
second.
put my hand
We're
on
covering the mics right now.
Lyrics?
It's like a Senate. This is much like a Senate hearing.
Write any new lyrics or anything like that?
We haven't written
Like in decades.
in decades.
Yeah.
You were talking about.
a couple of few
well,
years,
Pigpen
though.
was
Few
trying to
years.
talk you
Yeah.
into releasing vinyl.
Yeah, we had talked about that.
Yeah.
We had discussions about that. It's just pretty expensive right now, and but we had talked about
The record, I think the record we could do that best with would probably be All This Baggage, probably because it was still
Right.
purely
Analog.
Analog.
purely analog.
it was a tape.
And probably of the three, then was probably most mature on all the levels that it could have been, right? Like the songwriting's probably a little more mature. The recording was a lot stronger and stuff. So when we try to exploit our fans in a few years for 25 years of that or something, then maybe we'll basically
We'll try
release
to do
it.
it.
Yeah.
Now, had you had your stuff up digitally at the last time you were here? I noticed I seen some stuff now.
I think pretty much all our
Right,
stuff.
yeah.
All the
I
stuff should be-
don't know if the little 2-song thing we did here recently.
That's
may
not. We
be,
did a
but
2-song like little EP a couple years ago, and so
Okay.
that's not up digitally yet.
and that's just because we've been not diligent in probably doing that. So
It's,
that's just purely on us. Yeah.
Well, you guys are busy with all your secret society work.
I can't,
and all
I
I
that,
can't even
so-
keep it
meetings
straight. I
and-
mean,
the
And-
inquisitions you have to attend.
you gotta buy candles and and it's like stuff.
I can't. You know what I love about that? I love how like laborious you made that task sound too. Though it's like oh my gosh, it's like I got tonight. I mean, it's like tonight
Ever
I
try
got
to find like
candles to buy.
non-scented candles enough for a
it's
secret
just-
society
No,
meeting?
all these
and
things
it's,
smell. All these things smell like Krispy Kreme donuts now. I
sacrifices
just
and trying to
It's a grind.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
manipulate like kind of currency markets and stuff like that. It's
Exactly.
exhausting.
Right. Listen, the price of oil doesn't drop on its own. I'll tell you
No,
that.
it's
So-
exhausting.
See, they know about oil. You guys know about the oil
As
prices.
far as you know, we don't.
Some meeting you had probably.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why we were a little late here. So, yeah.
Speaking of late, 25 years, man. Congratulations.
I mean, better late than never.
on your album. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You finally released it. I mean,
Yeah. Somebody finally cares about it. Yes, right. Yeah.
was that the first one? That wasn't the first one though.
That was first. Yeah.
That was our first CD.
Was it?
We put out a I guess
A cassette.
yeah. Well, we actually had a cassette. We had a what am I looking for
Demo?
here?
We had a 7-inch single.
7-inch, yeah.
We had a
I was
7-inch
like,
single.
I was like, what
before
were the size of the records back in the '90s? Oh yeah,
Right.
7-inch. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So we did that. And had a cassette that had an extra song on it. But yeah, this was probably kind of the first thing that felt pretty real or whatever that we had done. So yeah.
25 years. Does it seem like that long?
Yeah. God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, no, it's kind of weird. It's all relative, right? You kind of put it against some things, and you're like, where has the time gone? And then you put it against like a lifetime of bad decisions, and you're like, no, 25 sounds about right.
sounds right.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's Amigo De Fuego, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so, do you remember recording that album? Where'd you
I
do that?
remember it a little bit.
Yeah.
So where was it off of Russell or something?
I thought
in the
it was on
house,
Jefferson?
Or? Okay, it was down to like about around Jefferson. Yeah, I don't know if it was like
In St. Louis there.
Yeah, so it was South City, and we recorded at a house. I don't even know whose house or.
I think it was Jamie Welke, who was the sound guy at Mississippi Nights. He engineered it and recorded it, and so he had a friend that basically allowed us to like kind of borrow his house for 2 days or a weekend or something like that.
Yeah.
So I just remember he had like kind of like a upstairs, kind of like an attic type of like kind of space that we just ran cables down the steps.
Yeah, this recording is like basically anybody that's ever done like just been in a band and done their own recording. This was it. I mean, it was exactly like it's like, well, put the bass amp in the bathroom, or I mean, it was like that kind of crap, pretty much, So
yeah, so it was pretty much
because
recorded in the
bathrooms
living
are
room.
optimum for bass sound, I guess, or something.
Yeah.
I don't
Did you
know.
like that reverby bass?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like sure, yeah, but yeah. So it was exactly like that.
I do remember
right.
we got a police officer came to the door because we went a little late one night, and because like those homes,
I don't remember that.
and those
That's good,
homes
yeah.
in South City are so close to one another, and so we just so the police officer just kind of came to the door and said, "You guys need to stop," and we're like stop everything, and like
maybe
just quit.
Yeah, he's just like, you guys are not very good.
Yeah,
I mean, just you should probably
sit out there. And,
yeah.
But we ain't listening to cops.
Right.
No, I'm sorry. Hey, Town, I just played.
So I guess you guys.
beating us after this one.
Oh wow.
I guess for that album you had some type of release party, and
we did. We were actually we were supposed to have, before we had the one that we actually had CDs at. We had two that we had basically promoted. We had posters for and stuff, and the CDs didn't show up.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
So
I do remember.
And so we
that.
had we had a kind of a management situation where we kind of. And so as we
sold a lot of tickets to that show. That's what's great. It's just like,
and we didn't have a CD.
Yeah.
And so on that, because this show came to us at Delmar Hall, Robert, who's the guy who like kind of books there, he knew to the exact day when we had our CD release show. So it was February 2nd, 1994 or whatever. Wow. He knew to the exact date. So that he was.
I give him credit for his hustle, because I mean he was just like, you want to do this? It would be this date, and it would be in 25. And because he actually he came to me and he goes. Yeah, it's the 25th anniversary of when you guys released that record, and I go, is it? I had no idea.
And so then that show that we had, the show that we ended up being our official CD release show, we actually didn't have CDs when we started the show. And we were kind of free, like, oh my God, this is another one like this.
We're gonna do this again.
So, unbeknownst to us, so at this time, Jamie Welke, who recorded the record, was managing us. He was helping us out, and so he got a call from the airport saying that the CDs were in. So 2 of our friends left during the show, and they came back with boxes of CDs literally like right before the last song. And I remember seeing them carrying that, and I was like, CDs! I just like yelled from the stage.
Yeah.
So we were able to but for a long time we were just like, oh my God, not this again. Like we like people, because then the next time people were like, yeah, sure, you guys. We couldn't even say we had a CD release show because people wouldn't, we were like the boy who cried wolf kind of thing. But I do remember that was like kind of them carrying the boxes.
This, by the way, is why I was glad he was here, because I remember about half of that story. Right? So you just be like, so tell me about your CD release. We had a CD release, I think, and okay, next question. Can we go? Yeah, no, that's good.
I
though.
think we all got together in my friend's basement and listened to it, and
cool.
that was the CD release part. No.
Right, exactly, right. Exactly, right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So back in those days, you had to buy so many. How many did you buy the first
Oh my gosh,
Remember?
something probably 2,000 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you did.
Get it for like $1 a piece at that rate. Whereas if you got like
Scott and I are actually in a different project, and we just bought like 100. I mean, it was like, and I think they were like $1.50 a CD. I mean, it's like these were $3 at the price point of 2,000 CDs.
Yeah.
I mean, it was insane how they were. Yeah,
you had to buy mass.
Yeah,
just
you're
a
exactly
mass
right.
amount of them. So
Yeah.
Did you get rid of all of them?
I mean, over 25 years, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last Tuesday we sold the last one.
Yeah.
Those I think we actually had to reorder. We
reordered a few times.
Yeah,
we
Nice.
Yeah. And for a little while, people gave a crap what we were doing.
But that's cool, man.
They're buying stuff.
Yeah. What's going on? Was that something I should know?
That's the Illuminati.
Oh, that's the all-seeing
Just
eye,
look at the back of
wasn't
your
it?
dollar bill.
Oh, hold on a second. Right,
Come on.
exactly. Are pyramids involved in this? Oh, okay, got it.
You know pyramids are involved.
Yeah, of course
Come
I
on,
know.
Dave.
Exactly, right.
Don't play coy with me.
He's like, listen, you watched National Treasure and knew it wasn't
You
fiction,
know.
didn't you?
My daughter has been home the past couple days sick, and it's fun to talk to her because she believes she's not from this planet.
Oh,
So
good.
Oh,
she's
awesome.
10.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
And I don't tell her any different.
No, let her roll with it.
And then a while back she decided that the people that believed the Earth was flat had it right.
Oh, okay.
And so she became part of the Flat Earth Society. And today, while she was home sick,
Uh-huh.
she said something about flat. And I said, "Oh, the Flat Earth Society." She goes, "Come on, Dad. Everybody knows the Earth's really a triangle."
Whoa! Wow! Whoa!
I'm like, wait a minute, man.
So what? So I don't want to give you any parenting tips,
Right.
Because I should. Because believe me, I shouldn't.
But I should start
That
to-
might be fever. Okay, just so you know, it's just like you probably should have taken her to some sort of urgent care facility at that point. I'm pretty sure DCFS has been dispatched to your home. Yeah,
If DC,
yeah. I'm not saying we
DCFS
had anything to do with it.
Of course not.
Yeah.
I am a bad parent, and if DCFS was going to be dispatched, it would have been when my son broke his arm in kindergarten.
Sure.
Early in the
You told
morning,
him
and
to
I let
rub some
him
dirt
sit.
on it?
I let him sit there
I got a story like that too.
till
Yeah.
my wife came home, and she took one look at him and said,
Yeah.
"His arm's broke. What are you doing here?" I'm like, "He told me he's all right." And he was going, "I'm all right, Dad. I'm all right."
Yeah.
I'm a bad parent.
No,
I
Scott,
shouldn't have kids.
I have the same story. I'll tell you later.
Same way.
Yeah,
No.
totally did it. Yeah, totally did it.
It's bad parenting.
Yeah.
Eh.
Bad. But anyway, so
That
Earth
makes
is a
it tough.
triangle. Okay.
Earth
All
is
right.
Here's the triangle. There
Let me
you go.
tell you something. We've covered a lot of ground.
A lot of ground.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry.
This is like classic AM radio stuff. I mean, 1570 WBGZ. Oh, conspiracy.
Hey there, true believers.
Like, I feel like this should be on at like at 2 in the morning.
I think the people who run the station think at best it should be on at 2 in the morning. Probably not at all.
Exactly right.
By the way, thanks to Halpin Music Company and Matt.
Nice little plug there.
Thank you,
Matt
Halpin.
Van Voorhis, Macias insurance agent, because if they didn't pay for us to be on here,
You would be
I bet
on
we
at 2 in the
would not.
morning.
Nice
Yeah,
little
good.
plug.
Yeah. Good plug. Right, exactly. Well, not paying for it until this week.
Right now, they're looking at their contracts, trying to figure out how to get out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, business is a little slow.
Yeah. Right.
Did we sign a contract? I thought that was just a napkin.
Yeah.
Well, it was, but it said on the napkin there was an agreement.
Constitute legally binding now.
So the Delmar Hall gig going to be your first time playing Delmar Hall?
We did not for officially as a headliner. We did the Mississippi Nights reunion.
Oh,
thing.
that's right.
Mm-hmm. And so we did it last year, and then they just had another one. It was their second year, but it wasn't quite.
It's about 9 months.
9 months,
it's
or whatever
close
like
enough,
that.
I guess.
So yeah, so we
close
played
enough
there.
to the second annual.
But yeah, that's the first time as like headlining.
Yeah. What a night! Well, since Mississippi Nights closed, that's like the room to try to get now. I
think so. I think it kind of is trying. There's been
that might be kind of the niche.
Trying to fill that void that Mississippi Nights left a little bit with the certain size, I guess.
Well, and I really like the way it's set up with the bar outside the doors.
Yeah.
Where if people who just want to sit at the bar and talk can go on out there, and then it's more like a listening room once you walk in.
No,
there.
It's a cool room. It is a cool room, and because I don't remember what capacity or sellout was, but it's only like 800 or something.
Right.
So it's a nice sized room.
Yeah.
You know, where you could put a couple hundred people in there and it actually doesn't look empty. You know, so or you put 800 and it just looks insane, probably, right? So, but yeah, no, it's definitely a cool room.
That's Saturday, right?
Saturday. Yep. February 2nd.
Yep.
And you guys are going to be with Snake Ranch and Super Fun, Rocket Ship.
That is correct.
That's correct.
Yep.
Last time we guys talked, they were going to play with you. Was that the first time you guys jammed with them?
That might have been. I'm trying to remember.
It's always
second time.
Thanksgiving, so
So we actually played with them in Snake Ranch in the summer of 2016. Snake Ranch had their 30th anniversary show, like their 30 years, so they got together, and so
that was pretty funny how that happened.
So we actually jumped on that bill. So we opened up for Snake Ranch for that, and so Super Fun was the first band, then us, and then Snake Ranch. So we're doing this show where it's basically the same bill, just a little different, different order, you know. But yeah, that was the first time we had played with them. We'd seen them in other
yeah.
And
They're
hilarious.
They're hilarious.
Yeah,
so,
that's a St. Louis-based band. Super
Yeah,
Fun.
yeah.
How about Snake Ranch? Are they
Snake
St.
Ranch
Louis?
is from this area. They're from the Hillside. They
Okay.
were around they used to play Alton quite a bit.
Actually, I think the Super Fun guys are from over here too.
Really?
Oh yeah,
I
the
think they
one.
are.
Yeah,
the one guy's from Belleville, and then the singer. I want to say he's like from Edwardsville or something.
Oh,
like
I
that.
think Corey's the singer. I think maybe is he from Belleville? I think he might be.
I
So I think they're all Illinois bands, but they're Super Fun's now based out of St. Louis.
Yeah.
But yeah, Snake Ranch is like Granite City guys.
Okay.
One guy from Collinsville. Rob's from St. Louis. But they're all like based over here, like in the early '90s, like late '80s, early '90s. Like we would early '90s, we would come up to Alton to like hang out with Autumn Clock and Judge Nothing. And they would have loft parties where to pay the rent for their
practice
space. They would just basically chip in a few dollars here, and there'd be a keg there, and bands would play.
They're fun.
Those were fun.
Those were fun shows. Yeah.
Yep. And a lot of those guys still playing in bands all these years later. So, yeah.
Definitely.
Yep, that's part of the post pizza place house scene, I guess, that developed once the pizza places shut down out there and they stopped doing punk rock shows. Right?
Oh, okay.
And it moved inside, and we'd have to rent places to put on a show.
Yeah, we would rent a few places.
We had to rent
too.
VFWs and things like that to do shows.
Knights of Columbus halls and stuff like that.
And that was Rich, I believe, the practice place you guys are talking about.
Oh, really?
That had Elijah Pease for a while, and now down at Bossa Nova. Russ, excuse me. Yeah,
because like Bishops, Judge Nothing, Autumn Clock.
They were all like across from they were all across from that Jack in the Box. That's all I remember. Wherever that one is,
they're like all in the
but it was like they were just all in a row, like in those lofts. Or
that
whatever,
was the when they were uptown. Up there. And it was above the newsstand and the Rick's newspaper and all that all the uptown lofts.
That could be
and then the Bishops were downtown here in Russ's Russ's place.
I was wondering if that was.
Judge Nothing was posted uptown in the
so we
area.
just would always kind of connect with those guys, like even in bands we were in before we were in Fragile, and just come up here and so I was probably doing more rock related stuff in Alton
Oh
than
yeah,
I was
yeah.
even
For a
in
while,
Bow
we were
for a long
spending
time,
a lot
yeah.
of time in Alton, just like
Yeah.
coming up, just hanging out, like
Because there was people doing stuff up
Yeah.
here, so it was cool. yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was definitely fun.
Yeah, those loft parties were
they were,
awesome.
they were fun.
They were a lot of fun.
And you guys had some great success over the years, and a lot of your friends went on to have pretty big success. I think a couple of shows ago when you guys were on, your drummer talking about being friends with Jeff Tweedy.
Well, yeah, I think Mark, our old drummer, because he I think he like jammed a little bit with Tweedy. But I don't know if like friends would be like kind of like.
I bought a bass
Tweedy would
cabinet
not
off of
have-
Jeff
yeah, you
Tweedy.
bought a
I mean, it's just
bass
like so. I mean,
cabinet
it's like
off
I
him.
had some interaction with him. I don't know if we were friends, but yeah, I mean, it's people you just kind of run across and stuff. But
And
yeah,
of course,
definitely.
The Urge.
Yeah,
I mean,
and the
Yeah,
Urge,
yeah,
those
the-
guys.
the
yeah.
band that didn't care if they got signed,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they were like like I said, we were
Yeah.
we were out with them, and I saw a poster and it said like what was it, Epic Records, and I was like, are you guys signed? It's like, oh yeah. I mean, it was just like real nonchalant about it,
Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
because
but it's
they were
interfering
doing
with my
the
hot
footwork.
dog business. I'm trying to get to this hot dog thing,
Yeah,
and this
yeah.
band is really messing with it.
Yeah,
The interesting thing about that time frame, I'm sure you guys remember it too, that it just felt like there was not a scene here. And it wasn't a cool place to be, and you
Yeah.
needed to go beyond this place to do anything. But now looking back, you think about all those bands.
Oh,
and-
there was a scene here.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's a lot
like
of
I would say,
bands, yeah.
like especially like early '90s. I mean, there really was. You can always go, oh, well, there was a better scene. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure, but I mean, but there was stuff because you're right. You look now, and now it's just like I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
yeah. There was a lot. I mean, and I think too in the area, like there was different types of. I mean, there was not like. I mean, everyone goes Seattle because a lot of those bands tended to sound the same. But I'm sure those guys would say differ. They would differ about that. But I mean, there's a lot of bands like that were like so different. Like Dazzling Killman was
Right.
different than. Dazzling Killman was different than bands like
The Thugs.
The Thugs.
I mean,
or
just yeah,
you
but I
just-
mean, but there
or,
was a
like,
lot of cool
New World
bands.
Spirits
Though,
or,
yeah.
I mean, there was like such. I think St. Louis might
lot
have
of
been so
diversity.
eclectic.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a little bit of like in the shadow of like bigger cities like Chicago and stuff like that.
Sure.
That I mean, how anybody could like. When you like
They couldn't- it
codify
probably
it or
wasn't easy to
monopolize it or
pigeonhole
like
it or
kind of
something.
like
Yep,
you make money off of it. It was probably a little bit
Right.
harder to kind of
Seemed
crack.
like clubs come and go pretty quick during that time. We all had to venture over into St. Louis to really find any clubs
sure.
to play in.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the fun shows were the house parties, right?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, we played
And,
house parties. all the time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. But that is the thing. That's another thing you bring up. It was interesting. Like back then, I mean, there were places for bands to play. I mean, it's just not like that
Yeah.
anymore. I mean, there's some places, but I mean, it's just like it just seems like there was. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they weren't. They just felt more like proper venues. I mean, it's like now it's sort of just like. And it's not knocking it because they're actually one of the nicer people to bands, but like a Schlafly, where it's just like they at least pay bands, so it's
Yeah.
like I mean,
Yeah.
all props to them, but it's still kind of, it's just not. It's not, it doesn't feel like that. Like, oh, I'm going to go to a dingy club and go watch a band.
Well, we talked-
It's like,
we taled about the landing and how important
Right.
that was during
Right.
that time
Yeah.
to
Right.
a lot of the bands.
Yeah, now that's just parking.
Right.
And there's stuff down there now that it's just almost like a ghost town. But yeah, like you had Kennedy's down the street from Mississippi Nights, and you had some other like
First Rock
West
and
Bank,
Menards
First
Pub,
Rock.
and
Yeah.
I mean, there's a
Yeah.
lot. There was a lot going on in
Yeah, it
that
was.
couple of blocks.
yeah.
And not just with the clubs, but with the restaurants and all that. That made a lot of foot traffic.
Yeah.
When
There
you
was a
walked
lot-
around in
there was stuff
the
to
late
do.
'80s, early '90s, if you walked around on the landing in nice weather, the streets were full with people walking. You know.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I guess Delmar sort of has that going on now.
They do, yeah, they do.
It's the whole scene's kind of moved
We got
out there.
the Cherokee Street area too. A
Yeah,
lot of
and
the
I would
young
say
bands.
that might be almost the closest thing right now, right? That you kind of have now is, and that's probably it.
Right.
Yep.
We're fortunate.
Well, and Central West End's kind of popping when they've got a little line of bars going down there in the Grove.
Yeah, Grove's got some
The
cool
Grove's
spots.
got,
too.
you
That's
know,
true. Yeah,
got
yep.
Atomic Cowboy.
Right,
Yeah.
so you've got a couple little spots where it used to be the landing was kind of
That was
the
definitely
spot. So
that was happening. Yeah.
We're fortunate enough to have Bottle and Barrel now doing original music right down the road here. And,
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
another
we've
band
had a
playing-
couple.
we played with Graham's band
Yeah.
actually over there. Yeah.
that was the Potomac Accord.
That was DiBiase.
Oh, DiBiase, yeah, that's
okay,
right, that's right, DiBiase.
Yep.
And then lots of festivals happening around this area during the summertime, and then Rock the Hops doing
Rock the
all
Hops,
original. So
yeah.
I mean, it's a lot different for Alton definitely than it was in the early
Yeah.
'90s.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
something else I remember about the '90s? the mouse, right?
Oh dear.
On your computer,
Yeah.
right?
Go ahead.
Was connected to the grid,
Yep.
and you could visually see it.
Yeah, and that.
Whereas now, it is gone,
Yeah.
and the grid is just there invisibly,
I was gonna say, don't think
and
we
we're
don't
all
see it.
attached to it.
I mean, they.
But it was the mouse that took us to the bait to attach it to the grid.
Well, I mean,
fragile porcelain.
That's I gotta go buy more candles now because we're gonna have a special meeting.
Well, basically, Scott, what I'm gonna do is slowly back out of this room.
It's like that Homer Simpson meme or whatever. I just go right into the
Just gonna-
bushes.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
When your Illuminati connections are exposed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back into the bushes.
Yep.
Oh man, yeah, that's.
I think
God.
Lydia's right about the triangle.
Triangle Planet.
Pig
could
pen.
be.
Yeah, because you see how uncomfortable they got when they tried to pawn it off like maybe she was a
Oh
little
no, we weren't
sick.
uncomfortable. We're totally cool.
You know, they knew.
I don't know.
They
I'm
knew.
uncomfortable.
They knew.
Hold on. What do you mean?
She's right.
I'm not defensive. You're defensive.
Hold on, as your
Hold on, wait, I gotta come
hold on, as your counsel, you should say nothing.
I
No
plead
one's
the
listening.
fifth.
Don't worry. No one's listening.
One doth protest too much.
Don't worry.
Hey, this is
Your
just,
secret
look,
is
this is
safe.
just between us anyway.
Oh, right. Yeah.
This is just,
I always talk into a microphone all the time. I'm just used to it.
It's
What
kinda
carnival
weird. It's kinda weird
barkers
'cause I
do.
Borrow my stick, you know.
Yeah, hey, hey there. Hey.
Borrow my act.
All right.
So you were a student teacher last time we talked, and you said that you kind of were adapting to becoming a teacher and realizing it was kind of like putting on a show.
Well, no, I think I had a student teacher.
Oh,
when
okay,
I started, because
okay.
I've been teaching
Okay.
20 years.
Okay, I
and
got
so
that
this is my
wrong then.
20th year, and I got another student teacher now.
Okay.
That I don't know why they keep sending them my way.
Yeah, you think they'd learn?
They think they learn. You know. But yeah, I'm trying to encourage him so I can have a retirement. So
Yes.
yeah. So that's
Yes,
basically-
please become a teacher so I can get out.
Please, so I could, so you're.
I mean, children are our future.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
It was interesting though that
Wink.
how you tied it to kind of putting on a show with the kids. You know.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
you
that's a
prep
little
the
bit.
same way.
It's performance art.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it, and a lot of times it's like
It is.
opening for sometimes. I think I equated it to like opening for a band that people come to see, and you're the opener, and they don't
They
want to see
don't
you.
want to see you.
And so it's a lot of times like the headliner for the kids is their cell phones.
Correct.
So
Right.
I'm basically that guy like
you're
before
the
like.
opener.
Yeah, I'm the opener for their Snapchat account. Like, so they'll be like, "Can you like hurry up?" And like, I gotta
Boo.
boo.
Get
yeah,
off
yeah.
the stage.
I gotta
Yeah.
flex on the gram. Hurry up,
Yeah,
stuff like that. So yeah, it's a rough opening act.
Yeah, it's tough. Right.
Yeah, it's
Right.
like
But you're well conditioned for that because we've
yeah.
had to do that. A few
Yeah, it
times.
makes perfect sense. I
Yeah.
just keep on going, and it's like, listen, I gotta finish this set.
Right.
You guys are gonna have to listen to
Right.
the hits.
This
here
30-year
coming at the
set
end.
just has to be done.
Yeah.
This my swan song is coming.
Be happy that you were the opener so many times because there was many times I was paid as a, or brought in as a band to be the clean out band, like
Right. We did
after,
that too.
after
We
the
did that.
headliner.
We
like
did that a few times, like at the West Bank. We would do that quite a bit. on
you
the
guys are
landing
so
there.
bad. We want everyone out the door before midnight. Could you go on at 11:30?
It's a great point. You guys are the equivalent of us turning the lights up.
We did that. We did that a few times.
I've done it a bunch, man.
There was one time we played in Kansas City. We opened up for this band Durag, and
They're
amazing.
amazing.
amazing. It was
band.
there was two guys.
Right.
The
You gotta
drummer
listen to this.
played on boxes, like kind of like
But let's be clear. So yeah, it'd be like a box and like film reels. Like so it's
Yeah,
like
oh,
a
yeah.
cymbal would be like a film reel. A box would be like his kick drum. He would like hit it, but it would be like one of those like
a
Budweiser
Budweiser?
case box or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
like the old school heavy thick one or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
But when we're not talking about playing, we're talking like throwing these like punk rock type of and like just beating these boxes. And yeah, right. It's like they do this. The singer is playing like this 1935 like just like dobro steel face
Yeah.
guitar and singing into his mic is built into a vacuum
Vacuum cleaner.
cleaner. It's just like You're shaking your head because you know the band I'm talking about, don't you?
It reminds me of the Butthole Surfers.
There's a little bit of like,
but that kind of energy and just throwing down, right? So these guys play, and I don't even know. Sorry, because I jumped on this because the thing I remember about this is that no one remembered us after this.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like it's just like it didn't matter how good we were gonna play after that.
Right.
It was just like they played. Everybody went, I've never seen anything like that before, and then we get them a 4-guy rock band who gives a crap.
Yeah.
So it's just
and
like
also to add more problems to that, the sound guy. Apparently, it was like in that scene in Airplane where he, like the air traffic controller
picked a bad day.
I picked a bad day. Stop sniffing glue.
He actually said this though.
The sound guys actually said, like I've said, it's like, hey, sorry about that. I decided to do cocaine again. Yeah. And like literal
told
words out of his mouth. Like,
Right.
it's just like, well, thanks.
Thanks?
You know, I mean. You know, but yeah,
Sorry.
While we're
watching people leave.
While we're
like,
sharing, should we be telling you that maybe that wasn't a good idea?
Right.
Yeah.
So we've cleared them out.
Yeah, we've done it.
And like I said, West Bank, when we played West Bank, we would play like after like the headlining like touring band.
Yeah.
And so we were good at clearing people out on that.
Yeah.
So,
Every now and again, though, if you stick around, you'd find out one of those clear out bands. Like I saw this band Molotov play after Suicidal Tendencies, and Suicidal was it was huge, place packed, and then it got down to like me and Graham was there and my wife. It got down to like 30 of us for this band Molotov, who's from like Mexico or something.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But man, they were
amazing.
They were really like we couldn't leave till it was over.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Well, even though Suicidal was suicidal, it's like, well, let's at least stick around and see it, man.
You just weren't done drinking. That's really. I mean, look. Let's face it. I mean, that's what you're there for anyway. It's just like, okay, the headliner wants to be done by 11:30. We don't really want to close till 3, so you'll be playing.
So Dave, you still playing in multiple groups?
Yeah. I'm playing still with a couple groups. Yeah.
So still with DiBiase.
With DiBiase, and then with the we're kind of revived, kind of. I mean, I don't know. This is always a thing. The R6 implant with Scott actually. Okay. So that's so we're that's our kind of on again, off again love affair
band.
with that band. Yeah.
Right. Numbers again.
Yeah.
You guys talked
MK
about
Ultra what?
Yeah, exactly. So it's basically the Miller Ultra Light. Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, it's the R6 implant. So it is actually a Scientology reference.
Our drummer kind of suggests that. So
that's why when you just
when you
started,
started,
we're like, I wasn't actually joking about backing out of the ring.
Right, because we actually got a message on Facebook where this one guy just randomly said, "Are you aware of the significance of your name?" And our drummer just messaged back. He goes, "Yeah, or we wouldn't have the name."
Or we would. Yeah. It's like we didn't accidentally stumble across that.
I think the guy was just basically like giving us a heads up. You're going to be sued.
Yeah, right. Right, exactly. There was John Travolta is coming for you. Yeah, I mean,
there's another band called R6 Implant. At the same, we had a discussion with them that we found out they're based out of California. It was like a side project for some of the guys from Voodoo Glow Skulls.
Wow.
And so.
We kind of had a negotiation to try to get the name, and so that's where we ended up.
I think they just like
they're like you guys actually think this is something, sure.
So,
I think that's kind of what it was.
Adorable.
So we've been kind of doing that again. So
we got a CD coming out.
Nice.
We just got it finished, and so we're hopefully
coming
up.
And it's funny that it is funny that you were telling the story about the CD releases without CDs. So I have a box of CDs sitting in my house with no release show because I pretty much was like, I'm not scheduling a show until I have product in hand. I mean, it's just like I'm still scarred from that. It's just like, and that's what I told him. So it's just like nope, they will be in my possession before we even book a show. So and to this day, that's how that's working. So
a little PTSD going on.
It's a little bit, right? Exactly, right. Right. That Twitch isn't just an adorable thing I have. Yeah, it's just a tick. Don't hit me.
He wakes up at night with sweats, going, "No CDs, no CDs."
Exactly right. Pulling a gun from my pillow or something. Yeah, I don't know.
So anybody who wants to come out and see the show, February 2nd at Delmar Hall.
We're here for
Yeah, well, I'm trying to get out of the Scientology thing because I think
appreciate it.
I'm trying to.
We're just digging ourselves a deeper.
I mean, seriously,
deeper hole.
after 4 hours of like just really tough testimony, I'm not sure what we're here for at this
I know.
point. So.
Yeah.
Go ahead. So yeah, I'm sorry.
You're getting deep enough into the Scientology thing. I'm gonna have to go ahead and tell you, I gave $400,000 to them, and they tried to show me an alien that wasn't real. It was a Bon Jovi show, smoke and lights, and no,
Sure,
Yeah.
exactly.
That didn't happen.
Yeah.
You were on with,
Right. Yeah.
what was
Living on
it?
a prayer.
Xenu.
Yeah, but there's like levels, aren't there? There's levels.
Yeah, I bought my
watched
way
that
to the
whole Ghost Slayer
$400,000
thing, so I was like,
level.
Okay, so anyway, so Groundhog's Day, February.
Oh yeah,
2nd.
that's in our show.
Here we go.
Right.
And if
Yeah.
you see your shadow, you'll play 3 weeks later.
Well, actually, what we thought we were kind of saying is it's pretty much hopefully what we were saying is like hopefully Scott doesn't see his shadow. Otherwise, the good people of St. Louis get 25 more years of crappy rock.
Right.
Yeah. So sorry, because there's a good chance he's seeing his shadow.
So the whole thing is that Dave's got a whole top hat and suit.
Correct.
like,
And I
tails.
actually just pick up Scott and I carry him out. I carry him out of his.
I'm in like a dog kennel.
out of his dog
so like
kennel.
pick me up and like carry me out. I'm like all curled up, like I don't want to come out. And then
Sure, because you're like it's cold out, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
So-
And then Puxatawny Scott, I hold him up.
I have,
Puxatawny
and people have, and I must admit, some ladies say I have the physique of a groundhog.
I've heard it. Right,
So,
exactly. And the body hair. as
And
far
body
as I know.
hair.
Yeah, sure.
And so if I see I'll just do a
At
lot
least
of
they
hissing.
didn't say
like-
hedgehog. I don't know.
Yeah, well, so you hold him up. He's probably gonna see it because we're not ready to be done. And yeah, so sorry, St. Louis.
25 more years.
Yep.
Good thing, because
so.
like people like if we did that and without the explanation, people would be thoroughly confused.
No, right. It's just like this is even stranger than what they normally
remember
do.
this last
No, right.
Maybe that was
Really, much like the movie Groundhog's Day too, you're going to be hearing a lot of the same stuff you've been hearing for a long time. Yep.
I was at the show.
WBGZ.
570
that,
on the
you
AM
know,
dial.
Artificial intelligence simulation that we're trapped in, repeating.
That's correct.
Yeah.
You've seen the Matrix.
I know
haven't
what
you?
you're talking
Right. You're
about.
merely a
Here,
battery to me,
you have
sir.
a choice of
Can't
one
slide
red
that
pill,
past an
one blue
AM
pill.
jock.
Should have taken the red pill.
God, I've been on AM as long as you guys have been a band.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so I got this conspiracy thing.
Oh, you got
covered.
it down, my friend.
Did you
yeah.
get calls?
You,
Have you ever got calls from
you-
people like just like when?
Oh, you
when
see
up-
the phone's ringing off the hook.
You're,
I don't even have.
Caller number one, WBGZ, 1570 AM. A-Town, stay down.
Your conspiracy theory, I mean, is just so thick, rich, and creamy that I mean, it could be drizzled on pancakes.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
This is Butterworth
It has
of
been,
conspiracy
it has been
theories.
stewed to an absolute perfection.
Right?
Yeah.
Freemasons surrounding people. As soon as he said that.
Yeah. Listen, I we might not see the phones ringing, but I'm sure you're talking to these people. I mean, really, after the first 30 minutes of this, I know you're talking to these people.
Well, we definitely appreciate you guys coming in.
man.
Me and
Thanks,
Pigpen,
man.
we talk about it all the time. You guys are like our favorites to
thank
have
you
come in
very much.
Well,
because
just because
Thank you.
it goes crazy, and we don't have to worry about coming up with material.
We don't.
I'll tell you what, you were working overtime
I was
there.
just gonna say.
I don't make this
research is-
stuff up. I mean,
Your research is impressive.
I was worried Scott wasn't going to get in here and I would have no material to work with, and then I was just like, oh, I would have been fine for 30 minutes, and I went, well, hey, it was great talking to you guys, and then just
yeah.
Hey, how was that interview? Well, it was good. I think we're Masons now. I think I have like
may have
some type of
self-incriminated.
felt fanny pack now, and and
Just
basically
like-
I got hit with a hammer.
Sure, right.
You know?
Have you seen Eyes Wide Shut? Apparently, I'm somehow involved in something like that. I don't know what's going on.
Walt Disney said the same thing.
That means you're gonna have your frozen head come out here in 25 years.
Grandpa Mick, man. Grandpa Mick. He said it too.
I swear, like, I mean, I don't think you can end on a. I think Walt Disney said the same thing.
Oh, man.
You know,
It
it's
is-
like Disney says.
It is time to end, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, what a great place to.
Let you mice out of the trap. And
Yeah, exactly. Hey, make sure you
This
guys call us
Saturday.
next time we play.
I
This
just picture-
Saturday.
This Saturday.
Well, yeah.
This
February
Saturday.
2nd.
You know,
February 2nd.
we
Delmar
failed to
Hall.
mention that
Yeah.
this is part of the point thing, right?
Yeah, it's their
the,
birthday month.
Yep,
thing.
absolutely.
Birthday,
Nope.
right?
They've been very good. I think they're helping to promote the show and everything, and we very much appreciate that. So definitely.
So we said, here's the crappiest gift you'll ever get.
Yep.
Us playing
Yep.
your birthday.
Well, we're just glad that you thought of us as well. I mean,
yeah?
you know,
Oh,
this
we-
little radio show.
No,
that,
no,
you
we
know,
wouldn't miss it. This is listen. First of all, I can assure you that any interview we do at the point will not be this interview.
Tried to make it worth your while,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. It's like
and I mean, listen, the good people of Alton. I mean, take that for what that is.
Yeah,
it will
A-Town.
not be this interview.
don't take it for granted, A-Town.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
you know, last time we talked, Scott, you said, you know, you try to contribute, maybe write some lyrics. You got a bunch of them now.
Now I do.
You're ready to go.
It's like they'll be like, "Is this a concept album?"
Great, another concept record.
Hey guys, I got a concept record. It's
Listen.
all about us being part of the Illuminati.
I've got some
It's
ideas.
got to be real big on the urban stations.
It's got to be a 3-sided record.
Got to be a triangle. Got to be able to put it in special CD
It
player.
will be a 33.3 speed. Not an accident.
All right. Well, we got through the entire program, Pigpen. We didn't get to take our break, and really not much going on this weekend. A few things.
I mean, other than Fragile Porcelain
Porcelain
Mice,
February
playing
2nd,
February
Delmar
2nd
Hall.
on Saturday. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Shameless plug. My
some
bad.
big, you know, game to bet on this
Yeah.
weekend. You know,
Sure.
we don't
Yeah.
need to get into all that.
No.
Nope, no conspiracies there.
Nope.
We running down anything? Or we
Now,
done?
let me tell you something for sure. Fix is in on that.
Oh!
Back
We
to
heard
that
it here.
off-track betting.
Hey, we're talking
would know.
football at the beginning, and I was pretty sure they were trying to give me a hint on who to bet for, but I'm not going to say.
Well, it's pretty simple, folks. Michael Jordan has 6 championships. Brady has 5. You think these white supremacists are going to allow that? I'm just saying.
That's a whoa, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, that's a good point. I want to take that back with me to work.
Look up the Hunt brothers. You'll
AM
figure it out.
11570.
1570 AM WBGC.
Koch brothers are funding the Patriots.
Koch brothers are funding the Patriots now. It's basically just destroying the earth and just basically
And making
putting
sure Tom Brady
putting the Aryan golden boy.
I mean, they already gave him Giselle. Does he really need a 6th championship?
there's no
too?
reason for that.
No.
What-
I mean, it's just like
Do you guys remember what number Michael Jordan wore?
Well, he wore
23 was
23. And
yeah.
what's the date of the Super Bowl?
Oh my god!
Ah!
It all just keeps connecting.
And then also he wore for a brief moment.
Was
He
he
wore
45?
45.
Yeah, that's a 9. So there
Yeah.
you go.
What the?
Ah!
It's all coming true.
He was a wizard, too.
he was a wizard.
Man, A-Town, WBGC,
Mind blown.
blown minds, 1570 AM.
Thank you guys for coming in, man. It's
Yeah, thank you.
a
Thank
blast
you.
as
Appreciate
always.
it.
And
Thank you.
yeah.
Right.
We'll,
and our sincerest
see,
apologies to the good people of Alton.
You think
We
you're
have
gonna-
to say it every week. It's not a big deal.
I see. You guys are used to this then.
Right.
All right.
We apologize at the end of every show.
Right.
Well, you know what? We tried.
That's great.
Delmar Hall.
Delmar Hall.
Yeah. Obviously, deluge, delete, delay, Mars.
1570 AM, WBGC.
Of course, there's the margarine conspiracy. Never mind.
It just goes on and on.
Everybody get out and support local music and art and
Oh my gosh,
Fragile
seriously.
Porcelain Mice .com.
If we're in any shape after this for this, just come see us, please.
Yeah, please.
Saturday, Delmar Hall.
All
right. Thanks,
everybody.
guys.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.